Hey y'all. Good morning, afternoon, everybody. Hey y'all. Hey everybody. I gotta get adjusted to these glasses. Yesterday my head was feeling all weird. I don't think they did them right. I did not have this many problems last time. So I'm definitely gonna get them there. Cause I don't know if they making it worse or better, do see. Hey y'all. What y'all doing? Hi nephew. Y'all was on my mind. Listen. I know the people that live near me. Also, maintenance is supposed to be coming, so I might have to get off. But they're supposed to be coming. They're gonna get the bird thing and look around at some other stuff. So they're supposed to be here yesterday or the day before. I don't know, and it makes me weird because I don't like people in my house because I be feeling like every time somebody come in here, something leave with them. I don't like that, and so I be wanting to watch them. I'm gonna stand there and talk to you, make sure you don't pick up nothing on your way out. I don't like that. I don't like people in my house. Period. Especially when you had to go to other people's houses before you came to mine. I don't know what you might have picked up on your way. I just finished listening to the Bloodline of the Monsters. It's really good. Really good. Really, really good. Really, really, really good. I haven't finished watching the Super Soldier one because I was on with y'all. Then I made my food and I went to sleep. But I'm gonna finish that today probably. Start my mushrooms today too. So I haven't done that. Get them going. Good morning, everybody. Oh, excuse me. I did take some time. I don't think it was yesterday. It was the day before when I was watching the Bloodline of the Monsters. And I colored a little bit. I ain't did that in a while, right? I ain't finished, of course, but I had to do something while I was listening to all that information so I wouldn't just click in my pen. But I'm going to finish him today. I don't know why I feel like this is Enoch. I feel like this is Enoch. I could be wrong, but I feel like this is Enoch. I really do. I don't know. Kind of crazy. Anyway, how y'all doing today? Good morning. It is morning. It's afternoon in some places, but it's morning where I'm at still. So I know everybody getting in. Excuse me, y'all. My allergies crazy. And you know what I realized? I think I be doing it to myself too, because I see the pollen on my little table outside, and I'll put my book down there, and then that same book, I'll lay it in my bed. So that's probably why my allergies been acting up. I'm literally bringing the pollen in my house. Because, baby, these nasal passages and spitting up, ew. But it's been going on. Am I doing that to myself? I'm bringing the pollen in, right? Because it's frog in my throat, yeah. Am I doing that to myself? Is y'all here? Is y'all asleep? Hello? They must not be. Y'all sleeping? Y'all want to go back to bed? Y'all want to have class later? It's in the air, I know, but it's also on my table. It looked like, it's like a lime green color. So I'm doing that to myself. We don't got no people in here with allergies. Y'all can't help me out and tell me what I'm doing, if I'm doing it wrong or not. Wipe it. Okay, got it. But it's there every day. If I go outside, it'll be some more. The pollen down here is awful. It's yellow color. Yeah, and all over the ground, girl. Yeah, that's what I'm dealing with right there. Yeah, because I can wipe it off, and by the evening, it's going to be back. Good morning, everybody. No, you all right. If you at work, you don't ever have to apologize. I just don't want to be talking to myself. That's all. I wish I could be sleeping work last night. Fighting hard to keep my eyes open. Why would you do that? Do you have to be up? Because if you don't, baby, one thing you're going to know about me, I'm going to get my sleep. Two, out of all the years I couldn't. Now, if you got the babies at home, so I'm okay. But, baby, you can watch this class later. I'd be going to bed. Probably should put a cloth down before you put the book down on the table and see nephew, because it's crazy, and you already know how it be. My son did the same thing with his stuffed animals. Had him outside on the table full of pollen. Now he's all messed up with mucus and itchy, watery eyes. Yes! This is what's happening to me. Sounding like a dang frog. Yes, it comes back no matter what. I hate it. Living in the trees. Right. Right. That's what I'm going. I'm having that issue right now. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Oh, you listening to the podcast? Well, how you listening to the podcast and in class? Y'all be multitasking on a level I can't. I can't watch TV and be listening to something else, baby. I'll be frazzled. I would be absolutely frazzled. Y'all be watching TV and watching me at church and watching me. How y'all be doing that? How do y'all do it? Yeah, I'm gonna take some honey. I'm gonna make me some tea. That's the one thing I haven't done. I haven't made me no tea, and I'm gonna put a lot of honey in it and knock this right on out. Thank you, Auntie Lisa. I started the podcast. That's my type of vibe. I'm gonna try and watch I Love Him Nephew. It's everything we studied, honey. That's what I was gonna say. Y'all be on my mind, and I know my neighbors think I'm crazy because, like, I be outside journaling, and I think about something y'all said and just bust out laughing. Mind you, I got headphones on, and I'm writing a book. I know people think I'm crazy. I know they do. Because they be out walking their dogs and stuff, and baby, don't be nobody on the porch with me. I thought about Mari yesterday. I was thinking about all the stuff y'all be saying, baby. I be too tickled. Do you hear me? Tickled. And it comes back to me at the most, and I will bust out laughing. So I know if I were to see somebody doing that, I'd be like, what the heck? Ain't somebody up there with you? Because, baby, y'all have me tickled even when y'all not even around. Understand, y'all do. In real life. I be too tickled at some of the stuff y'all say. Listen, you said I do that out of nowhere. Listen, because our classes be lit. They do. Our classes be lit. And I think about it. You know what else I thought about too that made me really, really happy? Y'all don't like having class on TikTok. Right? This I know. Y'all don't like having class on TikTok. Y'all do, but y'all don't. Right? But you know what I realized today? And it might seem like something simple. They do too much over there. You said nope. I'm going to tell you why. You all have gotten so used to a peaceful class. Y'all used to be like that too. Over there. Remember? Y'all was the ones giving me the hard time, but coming back every day. Getting attitudes with me, logging off, talking about you ain't coming back and all this. And then you'll come back the next week. Hello. I said, we're going to have a peaceful class over here. We're not going to do that. You cannot learn in a hostile environment. Y'all don't throw stuff at me no more. Y'all don't roll y'all eyes no more. Y'all done got used to a peaceful learning environment. Look at you all. And now when we go over there, y'all be like, ugh. See, that's like the bad kid that won't let nobody else learn. You said those TikTok streets are treacherous. Listen, is. They are. I really think they have bots or hire people to antagonize. I'm sure they do. Good morning. I read your stuff this morning, so we can talk about it. I was waiting on you to come in here, but I realized that too. You know what I mean? Y'all don't want nobody interrupting y'all learning at all. Oh, I don't play with my nasal passages. I'm gonna just have some honey. It'll do the same thing as some tea. I don't play with it. I used to do that when I was pregnant, and it made it worse. I started having nosebleeds and stuff. I leave natural habitats alone, and I don't add. Yeah, I don't add nothing to them. Y'all, these glasses are not working. They working, but they not. So I'm gonna keep adjusting them 1,000 times because I think that lady didn't know what she was doing. But I'm proud of y'all. I want to say that. And I also want to say, you said yes, respectful over here. Everyone is kind here. Right. But guess what? Think about this. And who gonna be honest? How many of y'all came to me hostile? Be honest. How many of y'all had several fits and left and came back? I probably been all kind of names that y'all won't tell me. That's family. This month. Be honest. I know it because y'all done told me. We just need other people to know. You know how I know? Because y'all used to be ready to jump on the people that came in talking crazy. Now y'all just roll your eyes and be like, can you please leave? You said I've definitely done it. Okay. You said not hostile, but I left. Yeah. Yeah. Nephew, you used to throw stuff at me too. That's hostile. If I just walk in your house and start throwing shoes and stuff at you, it's hostile. And y'all was hostile towards me. I got so many dirty looks here. Tell the truth. Baby, y'all probably rolled your eyes too much. Y'all can't even count. Not me being here since day one. Hey, sis. Listen. Y'all gonna tell the truth. You said you have a right. We gonna tell the truth around here. We gonna tell the truth. I used to throw the chocolate at you. Right. It still hurt. You ever been smacked in the face with a chocolate bar? Have you? You said I definitely left upset. Thank you for telling the truth, sis. The truth hurt, and it's a blessing that God told you, and you told us. Listen, I already know how it goes. I told you I've been through this before a gazillion times. A gazillion. I said, listen. I know, change is hard. It's not hard, it's challenging. Change is challenging. It is. But look at y'all. And I wanna say this though. Do you know when we go on TikTok and you all are on your best behavior, y'all still showing people on the internet another way to be? Hey. Hello. When we do go over there and they don't see y'all clowning and acting crazy and they see y'all looking up y'all still teaching. Hello. Because most social media you go on, everybody is on there talking crazy in the comments. Whether it be a live, a battle. So when they come over, they be like, you snapped at me a couple of times. And I just sat back for a while and listened. I commented when I did. I know y'all be having attitudes. Listen. Excuse me. You gotta understand. Like, okay, so can I read y'all something? You know how like your memories come up in like your Google Photos and all of that? I take a lot of pictures. Can I read some to y'all? Yes, I even got to the point where when I would see a video about anything with Dad, I come in and get mad. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna read something. Yep, you smack me right up with the truth a lot of times, but really appreciate it. I think our class yesterday was good. I think our class, this is the thing. We had 2,000 people in our TikTok class yesterday. Do you know a lot of people learned a lot that they did not know? I know this. There were people that have been thinking they were crazy. Maybe they on medication for the things that they see and didn't even understand that they have a spiritual gift. They're not the only ones that see it. We talked about generational curses. These are things that people talk about, but not in depth, and not how to stop it, where to go, what to do. You hear me? It was a good class. Because when people get information, it changes the atmosphere. More questions start coming. It's a good thing. You got on me a few and took the advice and used it and made my life better. Thank you. You're welcome, Miss Edie. I sure did, and I'm healing from the past finally. Through God, not W-O-R-U. God is healing you. You definitely have people looking at life with new eyes. God is moving. He's moving. If your life has changed, if you have a new mind, if the way you treat people has changed, you growing. And growth feels good. Not at first. It don't feel good at first because it's uncomfortable. But you get used to growth, and then you won't stay stagnant. You'll be like, no. So you want me to just stay in this little bitty pot when it's a big pot sitting right there? No, I'm about to climb my roots out of here, and it might be dry for a minute, but as soon as I climb up this other pot and plant myself, I'll be all right. You hear me? I don't gotta stay right here. That song, Plastic Plants, I used to play. I'm gonna play that today. I haven't played it in forever too. All right. Y'all ready? I found this today, and I guess I posted it years ago. Okay? So it said, yeah, because that's messing with me. It says, surely the Lord would not have specifically placed men and women in the church with the gift ministry of prophecy if they did not perform a distinctly different role than other Christians who are operating the manifestation of prophecy. They didn't really write this good, but it's all right. In contrast to the manifestation of prophecy, every Christian can operate. The gift ministry of a prophet is a specific calling of the Lord on a person's life. Thus, the call to be a prophet is a job assignment. A job assignment given to someone whether he or she wants it or not. Did you hear that? Whether you want it or not. And this is in every calling, not just in prophecy. Did you hear me? It's a job. Why people be talking about you ain't got no job, but I do. And I've had it my whole life. When I was on the on the playground as a little kid, say, hey, had the vision, the kid fall off, break their arm. You need to get down. You're going to hurt yourself. Get away from me. Boom. Ah! I was telling my mama stuff. Hey, Queen, as a kid. Telling my friends. And this is why they was like, you a jinx. No, I saw something. I got a bad feeling. All right, nigga, I'm about to go. And what the people do? Kick you in the back door. It's time for me to leave. How did you know? You must have knew something. Yeah, I tried to tell you niggas too. And because whatever, y'all didn't listen. A job assigned by dad. And this is why everywhere I've gone, he's always taking care of me no matter how young I was. 11, 12, I'm out here. I'm out of my mama's house. No adults to really, you know what I'm saying? But God kept me. And he didn't let me get involved in just everything just because I was out. And I'm grateful for that. Because there was houses that I went to And God had me tell the adults and the children things. And then he would take me out of that house. And every single thing that God had me speak there, it happened. With my friend, telling my friend, like, if you don't quit disrespecting your mama, you're not going to live long. She got stabbed to death within 6 months of that. I was only 14. Went to another chick house, spent the night over there, and I kept telling her I got a bad feeling. She like, girl, you tripping, you tripping. And then the nigga that come through the door just shot somebody at a taco shop and killed him with a 22. It's a 22. Pew, pew, pew. And then I had to be locked in this house with this nigga for like 3 days, baby, trying to be cool. You said what? And they on the news looking for this nigga. Like, I was only 13 years old. Listen here. What in the world is going on? You got some blessed oil because I'm about to hit these windows. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's so many things. And so I think about, listen. Well, you say why we said it at the same time, girl. I know God kept me. Because when I left my mom's house at 11 years old, I didn't have no strap. I didn't have no car. I didn't have no job. I didn't have nothing but the clothes on my back and a little bitty bag, babe. And for over 3 decades, he has came through. My daughter dreams things before they happen, and you need to get her a beautiful journal so that she can write them down. Date and time. Nerve would have been on 10 that 3 days, baby. See, this is the one thing about a praying grandmother. I had a praying grandmother, so my grandma was a pastor, baby. CERCA ain't never been scared to hit her knees. I go in the bathroom, act like I gotta ask God. I've been doing that since I was a kid because it seemed like I was always in a dangerous situation. Like, what the heck is going on here? How do I always meet people and days after now it is some stuff that's about to be on the news? I don't want to do it anymore. I just told her that last night. She needs to write them down, please. She could be getting us ready, girl. It's crazy to think about the amount of times God has been there and kept me safe when I shouldn't have been. Listen, when I went to the graduation, it started late because the police had to stop people from fighting. And one had an iron on them. I said, oh no, listen, it's a real thing. But if you can't look back on your life and say, ooh, like all the hair on my body is standing up. You can't look back on your life and be like, dang, Dad, thank you. Because we just take life for granted that we're just going to be here and that it's supposed to happen and our plans are going to do this and that. Man, life could take a crazy turn at any moment. But when you look back and you say, God, thank you. Thank you. I shouldn't, like, if the devil had his way, I wouldn't have been here. And so to read that, you go through your memories. I was like, wow, okay. I got it. I understand. You see what I'm saying? If I would have gave up at any of those times, which is what the devil wanted me to do, you hear me? Sorry. When sorry, y'all, it was a message that came up there. Right. When you think about what it is that God has kept you from or allowed you to get into, what do you have to be sad about? If he kept you through it, no matter how traumatic, no matter how crazy, what do you have to be sad about? Tell me. You still got your right mind? The activity of your limbs, and even if you don't, are you breathing on your own? You're not in a place where you can't leave. Because your here ain't together. You can go sit on your porch or sit on your balcony or hug on, whoever, or talk to a neighbor, take a walk in gladness. Okay. People be wanting you to be sad about what happened to you. For what? I lived through it. You go away. You want to keep me sad when I came through it? I'm not even still in it. Even if it's transition is hard, baby, but this ain't, it's seasons for real in life. This ain't gonna be here always. My old self would have went crazy, but coming here and learning has helped me through a lot, knowing that the dads are back. Yeah, he does. He does. And people be mad when you won't live in the old days. They be mad when you won't live in who you used to be. They be mad when you don't react the same way you used to react. They be mad because they are trapped and they want to trap you. But if I keep on growing, it ain't gonna be enough room for me and you in here. So one of us gonna have to get a bigger pot, and I have no plan. I don't have no problem doing that. You hear me? Because God wants to grow you, your mind, your wisdom, everything. Ain't nobody trying to stay in the same space. It's nuts. Ain't nobody trying to stay. Why would I do that? That's crazy. Absolutely not. And I'm grateful that I didn't have to. Change is scary. It's, because it's the unknown. But I would rather go into the unknown than stay trapped in the same thing. You start to suffocate from the inside out. Like, I don't want that. It could be spiritually, whatever, all of it. Do you hear me? Yeah, stagnant for sure. You said, I'm so grateful. My grandmother always told me, there's no medicine for the mind, but there's no medicine for the mind but God. Oh, but taking it to God. Got it. Yeah. Listen. He's the only navigator I trust, baby. And won't he navigate you into some smooth waters? It ain't as rocky as it was. And even if you are in the storm, people be like, I thought you said you were. I am. Wow. You're handling this really well. Well, how should I be? Because he didn't took the weight. I just got to walk every day. And some days might be harder than others, but that's okay. I'm going to get it. Excuse me. Never let me wrong either. I'm okay taking it day to day. I ain't trying to stress out. Now, do we think about the future? Absolutely. But do we live present in this day? Absolutely. I'm going to put up for later because that's what he tell me to do. I'm going to think about tomorrow because some people that don't think about tomorrow, and it's not saying that you stress over tomorrow, but you prepare for tomorrow. You don't know if you're going to make it, but if you do, you already have some things in order. Okay? But some people never prepare for tomorrow or a bad situation, and then they always be like, oh my God, I can't believe. Well, there were signs that this was coming. You hear me? There were signs that this was about to happen. But because it didn't line up with your narrative, you didn't look. You didn't pay attention. Because you only wanted to see what you wanted to see. I don't want to live like that. You said, right, I can't see out of my left eye. I'm not giving up this. Start touching your other eye and saying what you want to see. Interesting, because that's going along with what we're about to read today. Come on, Rika. All right, what question you got for me, Pumpkin? I find so much comfort in knowing that God is always with me. Life is so much better. Listen. And the devil be trying to tell you all alone. You ain't got nobody. Ain't nobody. God be like, don't listen to him. 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 Don't, because it's not the truth. He's a liar. The devil is a liar. Yeah. And when you stop listening to him first and you started going to God, everything changed in real life. So many times I used to be in that situation, almost took my, yeah. And then you be mad at the devil, don't you? You get mad at the devil on this side, do you not? Because you realize all the stuff that he was making so big, it wasn't that big. And he almost got you. You hear me? You said, ooh, listen. Every time he'll have you stressing, and then it be little, and you be like, oh my God. You said, but I'm ready to square up this. You said, girl. Ooh. See how he illusions. You're gonna fail. It's not gonna work. You're not gonna have. Well, get away from me. And sometimes that's why God don't have us tell our business. If He tell you to keep certain things secret, do. I learned my lesson. Some things you have to hide from the enemy, because he's gonna ravage you. He's gonna anything that he can do. And sometimes it's the closest people to you that's your enemies. You can tell a stranger something and they will be happy for you. But the people that have known you your whole life won't even crack a smile, baby. You don't know that it's the enemy within. You said I learned that the hard way. Now I know, baby. Who? I'm not about to fool with y'all. No. I need my brace on. Give me a second. I realize that when, like, to those of you that have knee problems, y'all might already know this, but I be trying to share what I learned and see if maybe it'll work for you. Good morning, Jamila. You said, yes, I've been there. Get away, devil. I'm a princess and my daddy loves me this. And you're not going to convince me of anything else. He said, even in my lowest places, he'll be there. Move around. Isn't it crazy how when he really comes into your life, for real, not just as a sugar daddy, that you don't care about being by yourself? I mean, of course, as a human, you want interaction, but you more so crave sitting and talking to somebody you can't see and getting results. Because how many times did you talk to people that you could see and it made it worse? I love y'all and thank you for sharing your testimonies. It helped me to share mine. This. How many things have you learned by just asking him? Hey, how many things have you learned? And okay, I'm not saying that you didn't learn before you came to WOIU. I'm not saying God didn't talk to you. I'm not saying that. Whenever I come and say this, it's just in the time that we've known each other, okay? How many questions have you asked in your mind and then they came across the TV? We get in class, you get somebody say something, it's confirmation. You open up one of your books and it's right there, like this. And on time too, okay. So before you were frustrated because you didn't have the answers and you were going to people that were supposed to have them. But then when you stopped, got in your mind and said, God, can you please show me? At first you didn't know if it was him talking to you. But then, now you be like, oh, okay. And people be like, who are you talking to? Never mind, you wouldn't understand. Come on. Too many to count. Usually in a song or a movie for me. Come on. All the time. One for sure is get my hands out of my pot while he cooking. Let him cook this. He don't need your help. He already know all the seasonings. I didn't know. It was that simple until I got here. Just ask God. Look yonder. You in my business. Uh-oh. 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 Listen. I'm trying to tell y'all, people make it hard. My way. My. Way too many. Uh-oh. Listen, I used to say I'm not crazy because I kept hearing the voice, and all along it was God looking out for me. I'm trying to tell you. It happened a lot more frequently since I've been here. Come on. Because guess what? People try to make getting to God difficult. Did they not? Be honest. I know that, well, I can't say for y'all. I grew up in an apostolic Pentecostal church, and they made it almost impossible to get to God. And they always blamed it on me as to why certain things wasn't happening. I'm like, I'm doing everything y'all telling me to do, but I still feel empty. I still feel lonely. I still feel like I'm not doing enough. And I'm not saying I'm doing enough now, but free love from God don't feel like restricted like that. Yappers don't usually have to wait too long for him to answer anymore. Come on. That be still. And know I'm your, you said that be still and know I'm your God hit different since being here. Listen, even my hubby has been impacted. He actually hear from God. Come on. More than I can count. Look at God. Real talk. They did. I thought I wasn't good enough because of the way the Bible was read to me growing up in the Baptist church. Okay. But when you sought God for yourself, they were so condemning when I went through my divorce. Listen, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. That's why God said, y'all thoughts are not my thoughts. The way other humans think about you is not the way that God thinks about you. Especially when you have leaders in the church that use their whatever to like out you and all of this stuff. It be crazy. Like I said, I'm grateful for what we have here. I really am. I feel like this is a place of healing. It's a place of refuge. It's a place of understanding. It's a place of discipline. You hear me? It's a place of love. It's a place to grow. For real. It's a place of community. It's a real thing. And we didn't have to say, you gonna be like this. It just happened because it's organic. We only got a few rules. And now we don't even got to pull the rules out unless we go door knocking. Then we got to pull the rules out. But if we don't go door knocking, we have really good classes. And we just continue to learn and continue to grow. You would think, okay, so if you looked at our classes like therapy sessions, the only prescription as the doctor, Dr. CERCA TROVA, that I have given is the word. But giving you spiritual medicine stopped a lot of y'all from taking physical medicine. If you looked at this like therapy sessions, and when your therapist says, okay, I'd like for you to do an exercise for me so that you can see something, you all can go back now and see your growth. I'm grateful that I will allow you to open this sanctuary for his children to learn how to build a relationship with our Creator. This free. Even though you bound against certain things because of your bond with Christ, you don't want to do that. So that keeps you restricted, but you're free in everything else. I wasn't taught, and when I asked my great aunt, she said, that's the old way. I told her, that's the correct way we should live. Listen. You hear me? So remember I told y'all that pastor lady used to come to my house. And she used to say all kind of crazy stuff. And I said, well, you know what? It's crazy because prior to you coming here, the tears was flowing. People was telling all their business. You came in and it dried up. Nobody don't want to talk. Nobody don't want to release. Because religion has you look down your nose at somebody. Every single time that that I read, Jesus was lifting somebody up, was he not? Was he not? Whether it be their consciousness, their I mean, they was already sick. They was already sick in their mind. He was always encouraging somebody. Now he did discipline. But the only people that left Jesus angry and sad was the people that didn't receive what he had to offer. I'm going to go make me some coffee. I'm going to say that again. The only people that left Jesus confused, angry, sad is because whatever he put in the Dad, I really need you to let me know where to place these because thanks. Okay. So we're gonna pretend that I'm Jesus. I'm not, of course, but we're gonna pretend. Okay? Because you cannot see the label, like this, you know what it is. What is this? You know what this is. It even tells you what to do. Tells you the dimensions. A Harry Potter book. Look again. Ooh. There we go, Sarah. Now that's scary, y'all. It tells you what this is right on the front. It shows you on the back what to do with it. It doesn't say a magic pillowcase, y'all. What does it say on here? It says Harry Potter, the satin pillowcase. Sorry, it's okay, sis. Look, don't ever complain about not being able to see it now. You see what I'm doing. That's all right. Okay. It says satin pillowcase. Sorry, y'all. Y'all got to remind me that everybody eyes like mine. That's all. Say, bring it closer. We old. Hell, we 3 years older than we was. I know our eyes have changed. I'm accommodating. I'm accommodating. Just listen. We 3 years older than our eyes are 3 years older than they were. We are not spring chickens anymore, okay? You don't got your glass. That's fine. Okay, so I can't see it. Say it. And then we'll go. I don't want to be talking crazy to y'all because y'all can't see because hello. Okay? You don't know what's in here. We are 3 years older than we were. We is not about to be acting. This is the senior citizen club for some of us. Moving on. Okay. Here we go. We got to be accommodating. Girl, now you should listen. Okay? So we going to pretend that I'm Jesus. Excuse me. Okay? Say you prayed and you ask God for something, understanding, whatever else it is. Right? Y'all with me? Hello? Girl, I know. Listen. Okay. Say you prayed for something and Jesus says, okay. Because he said before you can ask, he's already what? You said, Dash, you yelling. Yes, we are here. He's already done it. So as soon as you pray, he like this. Which one do you think most people take? Come on, babies. Ooh, look at my. Oh, you said the big box. Ooh, the one with all the details. Cause this tell you exactly what it is. This tells you you gonna go for the bigger box. I said, which one do most people take? They take what they already recognize. They take what they already know. They don't want the unknown. Very few people are going to take this box. Because what their mind tells them is, because I can't see what's in it, it might not be nothing. Hello? Because I can't already, can I open it first? No, you have to take one of the two. They're going to take what they can see. Because they too scared to go into the unknown. Hey, pumpkin. And not the unknown evil, the unknown of God. What don't look, okay. I grew up, and I'm not saying grew up in church. My family was the church. 3 years old is when my temple service started. 3 years old is when my grandmother, I got dropped off at her house. I got up, and if she had to go unlock the church, I had to go with her. You hear me? Then she would drop me off at preschool at about 6 or 7, because it would still be dark. I would stay there however long. She would come and pick me up. We would go to Wendy's, get a Frosty and a chicken nugget and a fry, and we would go to noon prayer. Because she was the pastor. Then we would leave noon prayer and go to the bank. After we left the bank, she went and prayed for the sick and the shut-in. By that time, it was time for her to get home and start my granddaddy dinner. But in between there, as soon as she got in the house, because the church phone rang downstairs at the house, she might be upstairs in the kitchen cooking, okay? But she got to run downstairs to answer the church phone. Somebody need prayer. Somebody needs some food. Somebody need this. Somebody need that. So even though I grew up in the church, I saw behind the scenes what ministry looked like. Sometimes my grandma was up late because she was the pastor. So if somebody was in the hospital, she got to get up and get dressed and go. She just laid down at 9 o'clock. We just left Bible study and she taught that. Mind you, she had children and grandchildren. Okay? But there were a lot of people that would go to her church and say, ooh, I'm going to be a pastor. I'm going to be a minister. If she can do it, I can do it. But they don't know my grandma took this box and not this one. Because at the time that she became a pastor, female pastors was a no-no. Absolutely not. Very few. The men didn't even respect her. The family pastor didn't even call my brother-in-law or send anybody to see him when he was in his mental institution. Talk about a slap in the face. Here we go. She took this box. Because what she knew was women don't teach. Women don't pastor. Women are not supposed to be. And God said, will you do it? Will you do it? lot of y'all, when y'all came over here, and either you purchased or we sent you these, guess what you took? These equal this. These equal this. And Rika, come on. Now look at this. Tell me that you have not seen things that you didn't see. Did I say that right? You've seen, I didn't. You've seen things now when you pick this that you've never seen before. And some of it, you've seen it before, but you didn't even know what it was. Not only that, some of you have seen the kindness of strangers. There are some people that came here that have never just been given anything random by a stranger, but now they're used to it. So the unknown actually opened your eyes and you didn't get what you already knew what it was going to be. You said, open my eyes to the real God and not the Bible stories. Here we go. This was what you already knew. This was the 66. This was, I go to church and I got saved when I was 15. This is church people don't be doing all that. You said we was blind. Come on, sister. This was, my whole family saved. I know how church people are supposed to act, and I know the Bible. You can't tell me nothing. Come on. But when Jesus offered you the unknown, you took it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Unteachable. Ooh. What did this box get you? What did this, tell me a few things that picking up this box got you. Tell me. What did stepping out into the unseen get you? I'm so glad I asked God the question, what should I do? I found your page through the giant videos. But what is stepping out into the unseen? What did it bring into your life? What did you, a deeper relationship with God? Girl, you made my toes curl up a little bit. Knowledge and understanding. Ooh. I started studying the OTP before the 66. Thank you. Understanding and answers. Interesting. It helped me to forgive and standing on God's word instead of gossiping about my situation that I was in. I took it to God. Oh, strength and guidance. Peace. Like I prayed for consistency, a better understanding of who God is, and a better relationship. Y'all make me so proud. Y'all make me so proud. I'm telling you. You got the whole story. Okay. All right. Well, Miss Rika J, can you tell me what you wanted to talk about? I did go back over the Apocalypse of Peter. I think that's what you asked me to read. Understanding and who he is for myself. Love and a better relationship with God and others. Oh, empathy. Close relationship with God, relationship with my family, forgive, trust, good. CERCA everything everyone said and so much more. Yes, God is going to yes, going to God first in all decisions and not going to man. Come on, change your whole life, don't it? A better understanding of our Creator, closer relationship, learned about how our members is going to snitch. Hilarious, peace and understanding. Love and having a better understanding of God and loving people through God's eyes and not my, ooh. on a new path of understanding why people move the way they move and putting 100% trust in God and what God has for me. That realize religion is not the way to God, but the true relationship. Yes, ma'am. I wanted to go over the part about him on the cross and what was going on. I figured that. That's so crazy. I figured that after I read it today, I said this. Okay. So you remember how we read recently in Bartholomew that Jesus got off? Remember? Remember? Bartholomew was the only one that saw Jesus get off. Everybody else saw what, Pumpkin? Because remember, certain mysteries he only unveiled to certain people. But we going to go over it. Him on the cross in pain. Exactly. That is so crazy. Okay. So, I don't know. He told me. See, sometimes these glasses work and sometimes they don't. That's crazy. All right. So it's 377 in my book. It's in the Nag Hammadi, y'all. All right. It says, when he had said those things, I saw him seemingly being seized by them. Seemingly. Right? But understand, this is a vision that he was looking at. I haven't. Okay? Okay. I don't be adding stuff. I'm going to get some honey. Thank you. Okay? So it says, and I said, what do I see, O Lord? That it is you yourself whom they take, and that you are grasping me. I'm sorry, and that you are grasping me. Or who is the one glad and laughing on the tree? And it was another one whose feet and hands they are striking. Okay, remember now that when Peter and these people go up into these visions, you realize that they're not seeing the fleshly side of Christ, right? You realize that? They're not seeing the body that's on the earth. Right? So when he's in this vision, when Jesus tells him, close your eyes and put your hands over your eyes, he's telling him, you are seeing in the spirit. He said, how am I supposed to see? You can't see like, okay, if you're not driving or nothing, if you take your hands and put them over your eyes, you cannot see. But what he saw when his eyes was closed, which means he was seeing in the spirit. If you see in the spirit, you're going to see God in his totality and not the person that's on the cross, which is the dirty flesh. You get me? And he was able to be in both places at the same time. Now remember, when we read in Nicodemus, even though the flesh part of him was going through, he knew what was about to happen. The angels came down when he was there. They were worshiping when he was on the cross. And we've read that in other books that the angels were there. The demons were there as well. But remember, even when he was being crucified, He was in three places at one time. He was in heaven here and below the earth, was he not? Do you think that Jesus had to show sadness, but he could have been thinking the joke is on them because they don't even know what they about to do? Because I know you read the rest of it where it says they thought they did something. They didn't know they released my Holy Spirit everywhere. You don't think that Jesus saw the demons in the faces of the people that were saying crucify him at his feet? Joke's on you, buddy. Y'all thought y'all overcame. Watch this. And when the thing dropped and it was like, whoo, right? Then the earth started to crumble. Joke's on you. Joke's on you. Because now cause see, y'all should have left me as Jesus because I was contained. The Holy Ghost at that time was contained. The demons had been laughing at Jesus for a minute, had they not? Cackling and heckling and getting in these people. Yes, they couldn't see him. Yes. Yes. Because it wasn't until after he left that mortal body that they got to see his glorified body, which is the body that Peter saw when he closed his natural eyes. Exactly. That's why there was always the super light whenever they went up into the spirit, whether it be Isaiah, Ezekiel, anybody. When they were talking to the Lord, they were talking to God in his totality. But in a version that the eye of man, because mind you, they're still alive. So even in the spirit, they couldn't see God himself as far as his pleroma, totality, who he was. Okay? So he allowed what their human mind could comprehend. And the light, we know that they always saw. The first light was who? Who's the first light? Right. So do you think that it's crazy when people have near-death experiences that the first thing that they see is the light? The first light that was ever created, a light brighter than any other light, which we know that light is Jesus, who is the light of the world, not the sun. The worlds we see and the ones we don't. Because remember, when he left his fleshly body and went down into Hades, what did they see in the darkness? What did they see? Light. So when he left his mortal body, he instantly went into if you think about it, his skin, his body, the sac, was holding all of that light on the inside. So is that why the eclipse? Because Jesus' light was in Hades. Here we go. The light of the world was in the realm of darkness. Isn't that crazy? And the world was darkened because the light had went into the realm of darkness. That was good, Pumpkin. It makes sense. I need some coffee. That's what I was supposed to do. And remember, nobody could see. They always talking about hiding the light. Don't forget, y'all, the maintenance people are supposed to be coming today. They're going to get that bird thing down. I think they got to check my air conditioning thing and all of that, so I might be getting off early, but we shall see. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Go get that in a minute. All right. Let's get back to this. So, and that's so funny, girl, because I already had it marked up, and this is the picture that was in the space from the meet and greet. On the Apocalypse of Peter, this was my bookmark, which is crazy. We had such a good time there. We really did. We had such a good time. All right. Dad, please let these glasses do what they're supposed to do. Because they not not doing what they're supposed to do. All right. All right. So it says, or who is he, or is this the, or who is this one glad and laughing on a tree? And is it another one whose feet and hands they are striking? And the Savior said to me, he whom you saw on the tree glad and laughing, this is the living Jesus. But this one, into whose hands and feet they drive the nails, is his fleshly part. It's only the flesh, but it's not the totality of who God is, because God knew what was getting ready to happen. And God was, it said he gladly gave his only begotten son, did he not? It's I got the what's the names on here. It's not that. They didn't do this prescription. They just didn't put everything in the right place. That's all. Because my last glasses was cool. He gladly gave his son. Now, mind you, I love you too. You hear me? He gladly gave him. They thought that they were getting rid of the Savior completely because they got rid of his mortal body. Did they not? They thought they stopped the plan. That was only his mortal body. What was contained in him was about to be released. You don't think God was excited about that? Because he knew it wasn't going to be contained in no regular body. Even though Jesus could be omnipresent, reminds me of the movie Nefarious when the demon said putting him on the cross was their biggest mistake. Exactly, nephew. This, the way, the way it said he was laughing. Listen, how many people have we seen laugh hysterically before they die? We've seen it on movies. And then they get the But the joke be on them. Because the person don't know, here we go, that there is a device connected to the heart of that person. And so as long as their heart is beating, the people that are around them are safe. But as soon as their heart start beating, baby, it's about to be trouble. That's basically what happened. There was a switch. And the moment that the last pump of blood left Jesus's veins, lightweight, there was an explosion because the ground trembled. It was an earthquake. It went dark. That's what happens in an explosion, isn't it? So we could call it a spiritual explosion that happened. But there was a switch that released power as soon as Jesus's heart stopped beating. He won. Did he not? He bought back all the sin. He paid back all the sin. It was so many. Come on. Come on, split the temple. Come on. Because think about it. The moment he took his last breath, the moment his heart started beating is when the earthquake happened. He said, so that's where the saying comes, we playing, God laughs. Oh, okay. Did he say, you know the plans I have for you, or did he say, I know? The devil had his plan, it didn't work. Okay. How many of you can chuckle now about a person trying to take your life and say, dang, that's crazy? I really lived through that. An explosion of life and birth, right? How many of you can do that now? And chuckle about it like, dang, you was really trying to kill me. Would that not be the same chuckle? Because can I ask you Shell working. Hold on, y'all. That's y'all niece. Hello. Working. Are you working? Sorry, y'all. I'm always working. Understand this. That as soon as stuff come out of my mouth, it's somebody else that needs the information. And it should be with y'all as well. That was y'all niece, and I just told her, you need to go watch the first 15 minutes of my class. Because it's literally talking about what you're talking about right now. She's frustrated. And like I told her, when you when you have peace, God is always going to send you into the chaotic situation because you're the person that's bringing the peace. If there's no order, there's chaos. You are the person that he is going to send into the chaos to bring peace. Y'all get that? It goes right along with what we talked about this morning. No? When I got to TikTok was chaotic. Our first classes were chaotic. It's not chaotic no more. It's peaceful. But I had to stay in a place where there was chaos and be frustrated and angry and cussing folks out. And then I had to learn a new way to get order. And now we got order. And when we go door knocking, y'all don't even like it over there. It'd be good classes, but y'all don't like it. Y'all be like rolling your eyes and stuff because you have gotten used to something else. But it didn't start like this. Thank you, Pumpkin. But I just told your niece the same thing. I said, baby, I was not raised in chaos. I know. And that's why you're the peace to a lot of people. That's why every situation that God puts you in is chaotic. It's not in order. Nothing. You was raised in order. You was not raised in chaos. So, because you have that, God is going to send you into places where it isn't at so that you can bring it. You are the peace bringer. You are the comfort. You are, and yes, it's frustrating and it can be overwhelming, but you just got to ask God to help you deal with it every day. It will change. Now, you don't go running for chaos. God will help, because if he put you there, he already got a plan to change you. But will you be strong enough to stay? Now, there are some situations that are just for a season. It's not for a long time. And if people aren't hearing, just like in the Bible when it says that there were some places Jesus couldn't do no miracles because they wouldn't receive it. And so then he will take you away. But there is a time that you have to endure there. Yet chaos, balance, and then peace, right? Right? So, there's that. Okay, let's go back over here. Ooh, Jesus. All right. So it says, the Savior said to me, he whom you saw on the tree, glad and laughing, this is the living Jesus. But this one, into whose hands and feet they drive the nails, is his fleshly part, which is the substitute being put to shame, the one who came into being in his likeness. So, you know how they said our spirit looks exactly like us. Y'all remember when we read that? I think it was in Baruch. I can't remember where we read it. Y'all, we didn't read so much. But who remembers that? This is when we was like, oh, I'm going to have a knock-kneed body. I'm going to have a flat butt. So I'm going to have a big back. So remember that? Y'all remember us looking into that? And what's so crazy is we talked about the splitting of the hairs yesterday about how we leave it. It's how we going to look when we get to heaven. It'll be either a glorified body or not, but it's going to be this. Okay. Once we leave our body, do we change? Our form is our form. Right? This form ain't going to change. I mean, it'll be a glorified body or a body that's ready for punishment. But this is how we going to know each other, because our soul looks exactly like our body. Same shape, same everything, right? Now, let me ask you a question. How many times have you heard of a person having a near-death experience, or they did die and they saw that they said that they saw themselves. They floated up above their body. They could see an aerial view farther than they ever been able to see. They could see the paramedics working on them. They could see their family members. They could see the car. They could see everything. They said, I could see myself. We just talked about it. Some of y'all dream and do it. I know I used to. I done set up and look back and saw myself laying down. My sister, after giving birth to my nephew, every time. Okay. So the person floating over is you, and the person laying on the ground is you, is it not? You are in two places at one time. You in the air, and you can see yourself. They're both you, but the yous are not connected at that moment, right or wrong. That's what astral projection is. Hello? Do we agree? Did they take that out? Oh, thank you. Remember this? Queen, so you gonna be all in my business? Not that you knew what I was about to grab. Good job. Oh, Emma, I can't even get to it fast. He can't accept the guys. This for exactly. Exactly. I love y'all. You said I was reading it not too long ago. Hilarious. When I say he be in our classes. All the information just be coming back. So this is the part that they were seeing on the cross, the body. But there was still a spirit man and a soul man that was present at the crucifixion. The body was going through something. The soul was going through something, and the spirit was going through something. No? And if you think about it, maybe that's why it's the three hairs. But they all total this. So Jesus's body was on the cross. His soul, his soul probably was sitting there next to him laughing, and the spirit is who was talking to Peter, or vice versa. I can't say which. But we know for sure that Peter couldn't see it until he closed his eyes. So it was either a soul man of Jesus that he was seeing, or the spirit man, one of the two. He was seeing Jesus's body on the cross, Maybe his soul standing next to him, and that, or his spirit standing next to, well, probably his soul, and that it could have very well been who the angels were worshiping, and then his spirit was then cast everywhere. Or his spirit could have been, which we know 9 times out of 10, which is what was in Hades. Rika, you still here? You didn't leave me. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right, it says, but look at him and me. But when I'm sorry, but when I looked, but when, oh, y'all, bear with me. But when I had looked, said, Lord, no one is looking at you. Let us flee this place. But he said to me, I have told you, leave the blind alone. And you see how they do not know what they are saying? For the Son of their glory, instead of my servant, they have put to shame. And I saw someone about to approach us, resembling him, even him who was laughing on the tree. And he was filled with the Holy Spirit, and he is the Savior. And there was a great ineffable light around him, and the multitude of ineffable and invisible angels blessing them. And when I looked at him, the one who gives praise was revealed. So that basically explains exactly what we just saw in that picture. It's like Peter was seeing his soul, his body, and his flesh. I mean, his body, his soul, and his spirit separate. Because the light being resembled Jesus, right? But he was a light being, the one that they showing on TikTok right now. His soul is the ones that the angels were worshiping, right? And then his body was on the cross. But his soul and his spirit was able to move around even though his body was on the cross. Because think about it. When the angels came in a space, they had light too, but they resembled a man. So he was getting to see Jesus fractured in his totality, which is crazy. That he even got to see. It's like, what movies do they do that on? Where they split? It's like a clone, like clones. But in every form that he had, he got to see. He got to see his spirit form, his natural form, and then his soul all at one time, which is mind blowing. He got to see the totality of Jesus, and that's crazy. I mean, it's amazing and wonderful, but most people only saw Jesus in one dimension. Some people got to see him in two, right? Because some people got to see him in his earthly body, and then some people got to see him in his Godhead, for like in his heavenly form up on the mountain of transfiguration, right? But he got to see all three parts of God, or Jesus or God in the flesh. He got to see all of it, which is crazy. But all of these disciples again got to see, because look, he saw him on the cross, right? And he got to see his other two, but Bartholomew got to see him actually in the split second or whatever happened. He got to see him, maybe it was his soul, maybe he saw the manifold, exactly. Because then Bartholomew, he only got to see, well, the heavenly part of it, I mean the earthly part of him, but then he got to see also the glorified body, basically, or the soul, whichever one, get down off the cross and go somewhere else. So it's okay. If you think about it, it's almost like if you were to take 12 frames, just like how the New Testament is the same stories, just from their point of view, right? Because Acts, Mark, Matthew, Luke, they all tell the same stories, just from that person's point of view, where they were, what they saw, what happened. So if we was all standing in a stadium, even though we are all looking at the stage or whatever, we're all still seeing from, right, it's a different paradigm, right? We are all seeing from different states in the, so I might see a football person running towards me, but if you on the opposite side of the stadium, what do you see? You see the back of that person. So even though we're looking at the exact same thing, our view of the exact same thing is different. We watching all the same plays, but depending on if you are in the front, on the side, just a person running towards something. Exactly. Exactly. You can't see their face, but I can. But we seeing the same person. If I'm on the side and I'm looking this way, we're watching the same person, but if I'm looking at them, I'm not going to see them from the same view that the other people that are in this stadium, whatever view I'm at is. Now, if I'm looking at the Jumbotron, I might be able to see it, right? But even though we are all at the same event, it depends on where we are standing in proximity to the main focus point on what we gonna see. Some people are way up in the nosebleed seats, so everybody look like this to them. So they're not seeing maybe as clearly because they're farther away. But that even makes sense because when you think about it, the people that was closest to Jesus got to see the mysteries. The people that were closest to Jesus got the inside information. No? They got to see the mysteries that at first, like he showed them, it didn't mean they understood, and then he gave them the information that helped them understand what it was that they were reading. I mean that they were seeing. Because even in here, he was like, well, how was you right here with me and right there and right there? How are you doing this all at one time? Now, they saw miracles that Jesus did. They saw him heal people, do this, do that. They saw all of that. But they also got to see him in a different light once he was on that cross. And they all saw him. He gave them all, not a peculiar vision, but a peace. Because everybody didn't see the same thing. Different people saw different stuff. Or he revealed certain mysteries only to this one, only to that one. Could it have been because he knew that they were going to separate? He knew that one was going to go this one way and one was going to go this way. So was even the information or the visions that he showed them cultivated for what they were going to do after he died? Because they didn't all stay together. And they were all going to go on different walks. So maybe the piece of him that he gave them was for the walk that they were getting ready to take. The vision, the part of the vision that he showed them, or the part of himself that he shared with them, was going to be the energy source for them to keep going. Does that make sense? Because what good would it do for me to show you a vision that don't have anything to do with where you're going? You get it? Peter's walk was not Matthew's walk. Matthew's walk was not Paul's walk. Bartholomew, where he was going to go and minister, Jesus would have to give him a certain, like prime example, all of our walks are not the same. So God, even though we all get the same word, there specific things in here that apply to your walk or to what it is that God has called you to do. So even though the word applies to us all, it's almost that whole different bait for different fish, because certain fish don't eat certain things. It's not relevant to your walk. So this, even though I need you to know it, what you're going to have to do, it doesn't apply to you. So you need this information over here. Like, my calling is not to work in a hospital. It's not. My mama's calling was. My dad's calling was. My daughter's calling was. One of my daughters, she knows about medicine, but she works in the legal field. One of my daughters has to know about medicine because she works for insurance. You see what I'm saying? So they all have to have a certain knowledge of it, but it's not the same area because what they do is different. Does that make sense? Yeah. Hey, Joy. Okay, I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick, y'all. And I took my coffee. Oh, I never went and got it. So we all get the same word here, but we have to take the pieces that apply to what God has called us to do. Same word, but he reveals specific things to all of us. Hold on, y'all. Y'all here still? I got a question for y'all. Can y'all go find the scripture for me where it talks about the demoniac when he ran out? He was in the tombs and he ran out to meet Jesus. And can y'all tell me what they said to him? What did the demoniac say when he came out of the tombs? What did he say to Jesus when he ran up to him? I just hit my shin on the bed. You cussed in a guttural voice? Or did you hold your tongue? No, but I wanted to. Good job. You held your tongue. Good job. I hope you okay. I know my shins is all banged up. It's little dark marks on them because, baby. Uh-oh. Thank you, Pumpkin. It said, when he saw Jesus, he cried out and fell down before him, shouting, "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, do not torment me." Which form of Jesus do you think that the demons saw? Excuse me. Ooh! Did. Because men did not have the power to torment demons, did they? They didn't have power over demons at that time because the Holy Ghost had not come. So even though from back here, if I was a spectator, I would see two humans talking, yes or no? If I was watching the demoniac and Jesus talk, I would see a messed up human that's all scarred up and then a dude with locks. But was there a spiritual conversation happening? The demons in that man did not see the man because they know that physical body didn't have no power over them. The spirit, the flesh, the people of the flesh did it because the Holy Ghost hadn't been released. That was our power. So they didn't see Jesus in the flesh. They saw Jesus in the spirit because they were spirits. They saw him in his glory. But to people around, they would have thought both of them was crazy. Why is you calling him that? And why is you talking about he gonna torture you? He's just a man. What? So there were some people that could have heard the conversation and been confused. What are they talking about? It sounds good. Why is he asking that man if he gonna torture him? Because they didn't know that the spirits were talking to the spirit. The spirits were talking to the spirit because they knew that that physical body didn't have no power over them, but what was contained in that spirit, in that body, had power. So they recognized what they could see, which was the light because they in darkness. The demons and the man in Jesus put in the pig said the same thing. This is the same. This is the story. It's the story. It's the same. It's the story of the demoniac. They didn't see him as a human. They saw him in its totality. Even though there were two fleshly beings sitting there having a conversation, it wasn't the flesh that was speaking. Right? Okay, hold on. Didn't I tell y'all nieces and nephews always call me at the same time? Every time. It's gonna happen every time. Hey son, mama's doing class. What's going on? You alright? You just woke up? What? You said you had what? Well, I'm not on TikTok. I'm on YouTube and the other one. Do you need me? Okay. Well, come on over to YouTube. I never see you over there. Bye. He said, I went to check. Not checking for me on YouTube. You know we don't live over there, son. We just go over there to visit. We go over there to go door knocking. Afternoon, TT. Wonder how many fallen angels were in that man and knew exactly how Jesus' glorified body looked. Right, because Jesus was in heaven when they got kicked out. Were they not? Jesus was there when they got kicked out. He watched the whole thing. So they knew what Jesus looked like. You said, I didn't even move over to YouTube. Yeah. Y'all think we should go back door knocking? Maybe we should go. I think the people is over here. Oh, also, did y'all know they was putting this on our classes? I saw this the other day. You have one of, when did they start doing that? I said, well, when did they start doing that? I took this May 11, so 4 days ago, 5 days ago. Under my videos, under this one, they put that. I didn't go look at no other ones, but I didn't know they was doing that. You noticed it 2 days ago? Okay. I don't know I just noticed it when I did the rewatch. Why are they doing that? I think that was because of what we talked about in class. They have you do a survey on some videos. No way. My screenshot is from the 10th. That it's a safe video? It's on rewatches. That's interesting. Because I don't ever remember seeing that. Oh, no, the title says, is it safe? Oh, that was a show. Okay, I see what you're saying. I've noticed on black creators, they ask if it's appropriate or safe for under 18 years old. Interesting. Because I thought I be seeing stuff and I be like, where did this come from? Yes. Yep, TOVI. That is true. They were just trying to discredit WOIU. Too bad we're having here and moving. Yeah, I don't think it's that. I think that their AI is. No, you good because I saw it the same time around the same time the day after you. So, but I noticed that it's a lot of stuff to be popping up, and I'll be like, what the heck is this? I don't know what this is or why they're. Well, I know why they're doing it. Oh well, the people is over here. Right. I don't know. But the people is here, so and they letting it be known that they around. I do want to say this. Oh, before I finish, Rika, did you have any more issues? Did I help out a little bit, or did that answer any of your questions? Did it make it more understandable before I go forward? Is there anything else that you want to look at? I'm sorry. I gotta start sitting up, y'all. My posture is horrible. And I realize when you sit hunched over, it make your hips and your sides hurt. Today was the first time I got a real-time notification. Yes, one more thing. It's further down where they speak of the home of the demons. That's so crazy. Yeah. All right. Mm-mm-mm. All right, it says, and he said to me, be strong, for you are the one to whom these mysteries have been given, to know them through revelation, that he whom they crucified is the firstborn, and the home of demons, and the stony vessel in which they dwell of Elohim, of the cross which is under the law. So you have to think about the Elohim are who? It's another name for who? The Elohim. The angels. The angels are the Elohim. Where is the home of the demons? We get into it, Rika. Where it is another name for God, but it's also a name of some angels. Where is the home of the demons? Hey, hey, pumpkin. Thank you. The earth. Okay. Are demons able to inhabit flesh? I know, listen, it said that the spirits roam where? I know that they're heavenly demons, but for the most part, they're earth. They are bound to where? The demons are bound to the what? The earth. So yes, they can fly up and go, but it's only a certain point in the heavens that they can go to because they are bound to the earth. The reason that we know that they are bound to the earth is what? Why are the demons bound to the earth? Punishment, but why? How did they get that punishment? The giant spirits, which they were, because, right, but you hit it on the nail now. They are the spirits of the giants. What were the giants like? What made up the giants? What made them the Watcher's children? But part of them was what? And part of them, right. Part of them was from heaven, and part of them was from where? Right. So their punishment for being trapped to the earth is because their dads thought that the spiritual part of them, once they died because they came from human women, was going to do the same thing that happened to us, which was they would be exalted in heaven. But God said, no, that's not going to happen. When our spirits go up to be held in whatever holding place we're going to, he said, y'all, they spirits are not going to be there. Their spirits are going to be the spirits, okay? Because, listen, early on in the Bible, in Genesis, it says that the devil's seed was, or the snake, the serpent, whatever, his seed was going to be against who? Exactly. What is a human seed? A baby. A baby. So when God said your seed is, his seed is going to be against, they're going to have the enmity against your seed, who would be the seed of the devils, or the beings that became the devils? The fallen angels' kids. The fallen angels' kids. So the fallen angels' children, spirits, were trapped on earth, and those are the evil spirits that try to trick us and kill us. Yes or no? Do we agree? These are the spirits that sit on the shoulders and inhabit the bodies. Once they were of heaven and earth. At one time, they knew the heavenly secrets. Well, technically, they still do. They just don't have their bodies. Okay. So let's go back here. It said, and he said to me, be strong, for you are the one to whom these mysteries have been given, to know them through revelation, that he whom they crucified is the firstborn, and the home of demons, and the stony vessel in which they dwell of Elohim, of the cross which is under the law. But he who stands near him is the living Savior, the first in him, whom they seized and released, and who stands joyfully looking at those who did him violence, while they divided among themselves. Okay, so listen. So we saw the firstborn, right? But they also saw the flesh. Not saying that the demons necessarily were living in him. He is not the home of demons, but he is in the home of demons. Which is the what? Because the first begotten son, where was he created, born, wherever? Where was he from? Heaven. And he had to come to where? Which is the what? Where did Jesus have to come to? Earth. But what is it? What did we just establish that earth is? The home of the demons. But he overcame the home of the demons by what? The cross. The resurrection, being crucified on the cross. So the first son had to be crucified on the cross, but he had to come down to the home of the demons, because the home of the demons is what? It's below him. He had to come down and be in a body that, if he wasn't God himself, could have been inhabited by demons, yes or no? If he wasn't God in the flesh, that body that Jesus was born into is able to be inhabited and to be a home for demons. But because he was God, they couldn't get in there. But he was actually in the flesh, which can inhabit demons. They just couldn't get into him. He was born in sin and shaped in iniquity, which meant demons had access by right to all flesh. No? Was Jesus born into the flesh? So he was born into a home that could have been filled with demons, but because he was God, they couldn't. I think that's why Moses' body was hiding, so they couldn't possess him either, right? They wasn't fighting over that body for nothing. And understand, what would have happened? So y'all remember when Lucifer took him up on the mount, and then he saw the peaks. They were standing on like the steeple or whatever. Y'all remember this? Everybody know this story. And he showed him the future and all of that. Y'all know this story, right? What exactly do you think that Lucifer planned to do if Jesus would have said yes? Possess him! Who do you think Lucifer pretends to be most? Girl, look at you are bringing more revelations to my dream I had the other night. Uh-oh, I didn't even know. If Jesus is the light, now hear me now, listen. If Jesus is the light, who does Lucifer normally show up at? Come on. Who does he normally show up as? An angel of the light. Angels have a form, do they not? He's a Jesus in part. Here we go. You got it. Jesus is God's most prized possession. Is he not? Jesus' light and word was going to be proclaimed all around the world. So whose life do you really think? Now, Jesus and God are the same person, but who do you think Lucifer would like to imitate or impersonate more? This is why he was jealous of Jesus. Because remember, next to Jesus, Lucifer was a shining bright angel as well, and he was God's favorite angel. Jesus is the Son, but they were God's sons. But out of the angels, Lucifer was the favorite angel son. Jesus is not an angel. So Lucifer, after Jesus, was he not the third in line? It was the light. Talk about being betrayed from the beginning. He came knowing the betrayal. Yes. Yes. Right. And Lucifer tried to appeal to Jesus's human side. Did he not? He said, I'll give you all the kingdoms. Jesus said, they already mine. Duh. And you know this. Now, let me ask you a question. When Lucifer was seeing Jesus, what do you think he saw? He was third in line until Adam took his place. So if Lucifer's followers saw Jesus in his natural form, what do you think? What's his name? Psalmist. He was, and he had the most beautiful voice, which is where music is twisted and perverse. You're right, Clark. But I'm saying, if the demons recognized Jesus, do you think Lucifer knew who he was when he took him up on the mount, seeing as how he was there in heaven? Lucifer saw Jesus too. We realize this. Right? Is Lucifer, if Lucifer wasn't too prideful, he would have still had, right. Yeah, that's when he tried to do his big one and scam Jesus. Exactly. But he knew exactly who Jesus was. If the demons know, you don't think the leader of them knew? If the peons knew who Jesus was and the power that was in him, Lucifer bold, you literally know you talking to God in the flesh because you see Jesus in his spiritual form, not this flesh. But you tried to play on this much amount of weakness that was in his flesh because he became weak for us, did he not? The only reason Jesus was able to be tempted is because he was in sinful flesh. Yes or no? If he would have been in his rare form, it wouldn't have even been a question. Lucifer wouldn't have even tried it. But because he was in the flesh, this sinful mess, I ain't going to say it almost worked because we know he didn't, but that was the only part that Lucifer could appeal to, was the human side of him. The rest of him, he knew he couldn't mess with it. And he came to him when his human side was hungry, thirsty, and tired. Did he not? The thing is, he knew God was in Jesus, knew God, seen all of it. He could play God for crazy, right? He thought Jesus was vulnerable. Can I ask you a question? When does he show up in your life? He did do the same thing to Adam. I seen it, sis. He was using the same tricks. He come to you in your weakest moments. Okay. When the tree or pool show up and you've been doing real good, what is he appealing to? Weakness. But what is he? He's a your flesh. Your flesh and its vulnerability, because intimacy, unless it is ordained by God, does not help your spirit or your soul, does it? The only time that action feeds your soul is when you're married. Because there's no break in communication because God is the head of it. So anytime that you connect with somebody and you're not married, You are weakening the connection. There's a break in the line. So that wire with the short in it, the short becomes greater and it starts to be more blackouts and more timeouts with God where you ain't seeing him and you ain't hearing him. The more that you give into your like soul ties. Exactly. And it's draining the energy, not adding. Not like, in order to plug my phone up, y'all know I gotta plug it into the power source. Well, when you are connecting with a person that you're not married to, you are creating a short in the circuit because it's supposed to be God, man, woman, head, boom. But if you're not married and there's no covenant, then there's a short in the circuit. And maybe every 3 months it shorts out. Maybe every 6 months, maybe every 2 years. Because you know, as long as you don't move. I got a fan right now that got a short in it, and I ain't threw it away because I'm thinking I can clean it because I think the thing, but I'm probably just going to throw it away and buy another one. There's a short in the line. But not only is there a short in the line, I think it's a lot of dust in the motor. Okay? So if I move it to the left or if I move it to the right, it just cut off. Hello? It's connected, but the power's not getting through. Right? Y'all got something with a short in it in your house? You ever had a curling iron or something? You hear me? What do you mean by God can clean you up? What you talking about? You got to hold it a certain way or it'll cut off. It takes more effort to complete. You know he can clean you, girl. You gotta hold it a certain way to get the connection. You can't move too far to the left or move too far to the right because it'll cut off and it won't be no power. When Jesus went on the cross, they thought because he was born into a sinful body, if they stopped that body from living, that the earth would not be connected to the power source. But the fleshly body was the short. Did you hear what I said? Jesus's fleshly body was the short in the line because the power couldn't be released until he got that short. Think about it. What is Jesus a connection to? Hello? The only way that we are able to connect with God, the Spirit, was through Jesus's mortal body. But even then, we couldn't get the fullness of the power of God until the short, the buffer between us and God. Because think about it. When Jesus died, there was no buffer between us no more. We all could boldly come to the throne of grace. It was open to whoever that wanted it. Prior to that, it was only open to a few people. Because the short in the circuit was the flesh. But once the flesh was released, the power is everywhere. It can't never be turned off. Not that it was turned off then, it was just contained. Jesus said to him, I am the only way to God and the real truth and the real life. No one comes to the Father but through me. Here we go. The flesh was the vulnerable part. The flesh was the weak part. What is a short in a line? What is it? What has happened when you get a short in your line? It's the weak part. It broke. It's the weakest part of the line. What was the weakest part of Jesus? His flesh. And once the flesh was destroyed, because Jesus dying reconciled us to Christ, is it not? Ain't that what happened? When Jesus died, we were reconciled. The short came when Adam sinned. So we were no longer connected automatically to the power source. Jesus was the fix. When his flesh died, it released the power, and we were then reconciled back to God. Because Adam created the short. But it wasn't until Jesus came that the short in the connection was fixed. And sometimes you got to cut the line at this part and cut the line at that part. Some metals are too soft to be soldered. So you got to use a connector on both ends. On the spiritual side, there's a connector. And on the fleshly side, there's a connector. Well, what was the in-between, Jesus? And then the power started to flow again. Okay? Because there were shorts in it. Because of what Adam and Eve did. So the connection was lost. Y'all remember when Adam said, I used to be able to see. What did Adam used to be able to see? Something has to conduct the flow of electricity. Here we go. What did Adam used to be able to see? Prior to the fall. All the hair on my body is standing up. Prior to the fall, what did Adam see? The heavens, the spirit, everything. He could see the angels descending. He could still see the part of God that he allowed him to see. He did not have to close his eyes to see in the spirit. Once he fell, how do we see in the spirit now? Yeah, but when do you see spiritual things most times? In your sleep. When your eyes are what? So when your natural eyes is closed, you can see how we formerly saw before we were cut off? Because prior to the fall, you could see in the spirit all day long. You could be in the natural and in the spiritual at one time. After the fall, we can only see the spirit either if God allows us to see it in a vision or when our natural eyes are closed. Can I ask you a question? How did the fall happen? How did the fall come about? Our eyes. Our eyes. God said, you see all these trees? You can eat of any of. Look. Do you see all of these trees? You can eat out of all. Think about how many different trees are around the world. It's red bananas, purple bananas, potatoes, it's all kind of trees and vegetables. You can, as far as you can see, it ain't a tree that's the same. But see that tree over there. That's the one I don't want you to mess with. You see it? That is the only one you can't. Lucifer came and said, do you see that tree? Do you see the fruit on that tree? Had the little water glistening all down off of it. The lust of the eyes. And so with the lust of the eyes came blindness. Because we lusted after physical things, we can no longer see in the spiritual all the time. Now, the only time that we can see everything is spiritual, most times is when we go to sleep, when our natural eyes can't see. So when our eyes got us in trouble, we couldn't see the things of the Spirit. Jesus, again, was the connector, because when he came, yes, people saw in the Spirit prior too, but when Jesus came, people could see things in the Spirit. They got to see the way that Adam saw when Jesus showed them, yes or no. That's why they couldn't understand how it could be this and this and this and this all at one time, because in eternity there is no time. So they saw it all like it is all right now. So they could have been seeing baby Jesus, big Jesus, little kid Jesus, God, all of this at one time, because we think linear. You 1, then you 2, then you 3, then you 4, then you 5, then you 6, then you 7. And we can only see it like that because our time is that. That's why our timelines are normally, they might wave a little bit, but it's still but they got to see outside of time and outside of flesh how we used to see prior to the fall. Literally. They saw all the timelines simultaneously this. And so that's why they used to be confused, because mind you, they're still human and they are still thinking linear. They saw that time runs congruent with life. This. Because think about it. Isaiah, Daniel, these people, they saw us right now, did they not? There could be a book about every last one of us somewhere else in the world. And we just don't know it. You said the angels saw it all and still sinned. Here we go. Sucks, huh? And that's why God be like, think about this. Think about this. Hey, Miss Design, think about this, right? That's why God be bad that this is all we want. This is why he be mad that we choose this and everything that we see over him. Why do you think he says the things in heaven eyes have not beheld and we not even gonna believe? Because this is not the best that he has. This was not even how our earth is now and how the galaxies are now. This was not his intention for it, but our sin made him change it. We wouldn't have had the farm. The seeds, kind of like it do in Africa and other jungle places, just as the fruit falls down, it grows another. And it's bountiful. It's so thick you can barely get through there. That is how it was supposed to be. But our sin and the sin that we did on the earth caused the death and destruction and the soil to be toxic and the water to be toxic. So yeah, things grow, but not like they used to. You can tell that just by our size. People are shrinking, getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Our trees are getting smaller and smaller. Our plants don't grow as bountiful. Y'all seen Feed Me Seymour? Now in Brazil, in the jungle, it's still Venus flytraps that get about that big. Y'all done seen the big old mushrooms that people can actually live under in the Brazilian, what's the name? No wonder Adam kept going back to the garden, right? Because he couldn't see the beautiful things that he used to get to see. The fruits of the garden, he said, these fruits ain't like them fruits. The sustenance I get from these fruits ain't the same. Excuse me. It's crazy. But God had to come down in this dirty, nasty flesh in order to release us from it. He had to come down into how do y'all think that made him feel? The cleanest being that is just purity itself, having to be encased in sin. How do y'all think that made him feel? To have to be clothed in sin, purity. In a house of demons. Okay. Have you ever had to go sit in a dirty house? And I ain't talking about a dirty house. I'm talking about a filthy house. Not messy, filthy. That's why he went away by himself a lot. Right. Okay. Y'all didn't see the extreme hoarders? And some of y'all got OCD. Think of the worst episode of Hoarders you've ever seen. And what if God took you and put you in there and made you live there? Where there's feces on the ground, mice droppings, maggots, like it's the air ain't clear. Think about the worst episode that you have ever seen. Do you realize that God took his clean OCD self, that everything is sparkling white, and moved into one of those houses, which is this sinful, dirty flesh? He said, I just threw up in my mouth. Do y'all realize that's what he did? He is Purity and clean, like that is his whole essence. And he took himself and clothed himself in darkness when he and filth, and this is dirty. There's nothing clean in the flesh. There's nothing good. He put himself in a house of sin. His mama, even though her parents was married, was she born into sin and shaped in iniquity? His mama. Yes. So even incubating in Mary's womb, he encased himself in a sinful body, did he not? Now, she might not have sinned because it says she was filled with the Holy Ghost from young, like squashing a roach with your bare hand. Girl, my smack and flick. Do you realize that? You said I would die. My OCD would go into shock. Okay. So imagine how he felt walking around in it. Imagine how he felt incubating in it. We don't know the difference. He was the difference. You're welcome. But do you get what I'm saying? He had to step down in a place where demons had rule. Because prior to Jesus, the demons ruled this realm, did they not? He took back the keys. He took back the authority. He had to come to the home of demons and wreck shop. The perspective of it all, I will have a different outlook the next time I'm in one of those houses for work. Sheesh. Okay. You said, oh, actually, I do be having to go to these houses. And sis, yeah. I get to come in here and clean up. That's how y'all nieces was looking at all them boxes in my living room. Like, they said, Mom, you got a lot of stuff. I said, this is not my stuff. This is somebody else's stuff that just ain't came to get it yet. This is not my stuff. And now I can see my couches. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Dad. The connection was broken when Adam and Eve sinned. And he renewed the connection or the circuit when Jesus came. That's why he said we can't get to God unless we go through him. But his spirit was released once the sinful part or the part of sin that, I don't want to say he took part in it because he didn't take part in sin, but he had to live in a sinful body. Even though he didn't sin, he had to be born into sin in order to save us from sin. Some of us being our comfort zone and we don't want to step out onto another environment, but he did this. So you just gonna rain? Oh, okay. No wonder it got dark. All right, I was wondering what happened. It's raining nice outside. I should have put my plants out. Hopefully it do what it need to do. Here we go. Sorry, y'all. All right. It says, of the cross which is under the law, but he who stands near him is the living Savior, the first in him whom they seized and released, who stands joyfully looking at those who did him violence, while they are divided among themselves. Therefore he laughs at their lack of perception. What was the perception of the people that were because Who got into the Jews and made them crucify Jesus? Well, Lucifer is not omnipresent, so he had to have some help. No? The unclean spirits. Who's that? Who's that? Who's that represent, should I say? Interesting. You said God really must have OCD. It references things being unclean a lot. Exactly. Mm-hmm. It come from somewhere, girl. Y'all just like y'all daddy. He don't want no filth around him. Nothing out of order or nothing. See if we can find him again. Were they laughing here? Why were they happy? You said I just watched The Passion of Christ last night. Well, we all in the business, girl. Uh-oh. Here we go. Was the devil at this table? So Lucifer was present in this meeting. Was he? Lucifer was privy to information he shouldn't have been. Uh-oh. You think Lucifer was here? Is this the totality of God laying on this tree? Is this all God is right here? This was the end all of God right here. Excuse me. No. Nope. It's not. Okay. Do we think Lucifer was in the mix somewhere here? Do you think that the people that were standing close, these were not his followers? They were the spectators. No? You think they were sneering at Jesus? Don't forget, these are all the people when Jesus was a baby that had to deal with him. Y'all remember that, right? These the people Jesus went to school with. All the people that knew all the stuff that he did that is hidden from the Bible, out of our KJV. These are not just random people. There could have been deep-seated hatred in every last one of these people because they remember him as a kid. Everybody walking around chilling. What happened here? It's the middle of the day. What happened? What is this a representation of? The darkness that fell upon the earth. The temple was rent. Fire showed up. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. And then he was back. Did he come back in sinful flesh? Or did they make him look like this? Because this is all that we could understand with our little bitty mouse brains. I saw it's, y'all see. Because we couldn't understand his immortal body. So they had to show it with the body y'all lit up, but it still is a physical body. But he didn't come back into his sinful nature, did he? Or to a sinful nature. He didn't come back to this. When they saw him, it was his glorified body. But only because they don't know how to depict that they show us this. So he got to look like the body that Adam was before he fell. He had to come in the fallen body to show everybody what we could have had if we would have chose God first, right or wrong. If our parents, our great-great-grandparents, Adam and Eve, hadn't fallen, he showed us the glorified body we had at first. No? Because he reconciled us to our natural place with God. He reconciled us. This is why when we leave our body and die, we leave this here. Did Jesus leave his here? Jesus didn't leave his body here. But anybody that has died after Jesus, their body is here. Because those bodies was never supposed to die. Those bodies don't deteriorate. So there would be no need for a burial place for something that doesn't die. Right or wrong? We only have graves because we die. But the glorified body, think about this now. Even though they call hell a spiritual death, will you die? Because even you're going to get a glorified body or a heavenly body, but that heavenly body never dies. Auntie thinking about the amount of energy that was released when they crucified him. They can use that energy for magic over there. This. Why would you bury something that's not dead? Now, who watched the video? I'm gonna run to the restroom. Who watched the video of the confessionals? And it actually goes along with this, which is really crazy. When they was talking about the London Bridge and what held up the London Bridge. What did they do to hold up the London Bridge? And I heard this before then, but what did they do? Anybody know? They buried people alive, kids. They buried them alive. Do you know what one of the rituals for being in the Illuminati or the Masonic orders is? To be buried alive. They put them in a coffin. And they strip them naked. And they put them in there. And they have to stay in there for a certain amount of time. And when they emerge out of the coffin, they have a new name and they are in an enlightened being. Go look up the coffin. Real quick. I'm going to run to the restroom. Go look it up. When they emerge out of the coffin, they're an enlightened being. Wonder why. Some of y'all favorite people did it. Like Barack. Sorry, y'all. Y'all see it? It's a ritual where they do take a self-fake sacrifice. Yeah, I seen a documentary about it. It's crazy, right? And when they emerge out of there, they are an enlightened being. What happened when Jesus emerged out of the tomb? Anybody know? What happened when Jesus emerged out of the tomb? What was he? Excuse me. Right. But what did he appear as? Light. The tomb was dark. He emerged out an enlightened being. They could literally see his physical light. So when you see, sororities do this too, y'all know that, right? Sororities make you get in a coffin. And when you get out, you are now an enlightened being to only their hidden knowledge. That's why they can't talk about what they pledge. He was a light being, exactly. He is so jealous of Jesus, right? He hated him so much he make his people do the exact same thing, just in reverse. Instead of dying to their old self and becoming an enlightening being through Jesus, they do it through this stuff. The secret orders. Y'all understand that the secret orders are a copy of Jesus only telling his chosen few disciples. Most people that are in orders, like the Masonic orders, they're disciples, are they not? And they're privy to the information that everybody else is not privy to. Everything in Lucifer's kingdom is based on God's. Because there were certain people, even though all of these leaders and stuff were around, there were people that weren't a leader or anything, but they had more information than the leaders. Jesus was not the leader of the world at that time, but he had way more information. He was the smartest person on the planet. Because he was God in the flesh. Because of the knowledge that he had. So when you look and you see everything that Lucifer does, it's literally a copy and paste of every single thing that God did. The rituals, everything. He didn't come up with nothing. He just plagiarized everything that God does and did. Which is sad, because you can't even get your own stuff. But you a God, though. You got to use somebody else's stuff, which is crazy. Can I ask you a question? Do you feel like since being here that you have got to see a side of Jesus that religious leaders don't get to see? To those of you that have this book, it says that there are people that are blind to who Jesus really is and who God really is and how he actually moves. Do you think that's true today? Do you feel like you're privy to information that the masses don't have? Has it brought light to your life? Church doesn't do them no justice. They don't. You feel like you're wandering around in the darkness, not knowing what's going to happen and just confused and in chaos? Interesting. So basically, when you stop looking at Jesus like he was a story, like the Bible, like it was a story, when you actually got to know him as a being and stop looking at God just like he was a person that was there to punish you and not let you have what you want, do you know him in a loving way now? Nope, I'm praying, I'm ready because I know what's coming. Come on. You definitely do. Okay. Rika, you read in there that it talked about they was going to be proclaiming his name and they didn't even know who he was or what he was about. I'm paraphrasing. Do you see that now? The Pope, because it talked about the Pope in there, or Rome. Do you see them fitting in those spaces where it said that they're going to come in his name and they are going to not be who they say that they were? I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember the exact words that it said, but they was going to be worshiping the woman, and he said, but they blind. They never even saw me for who I was. That's not, those people don't even know me. And we know that they don't know him like they say they do because they worship idols. But they come in the name of the Lord, do they not? But we know for a fact that they worship Lucifer. They even have a snake place where they go all meet together. You said, and also getting to know myself better too, because I'm getting to know God more every day. Interesting. True. Do you feel like the Catholic Church represents God's ways, his laws? Look at that stomach. It's just out whenever I feel like it. No? How about y'all? So would you say that they have a spiritual connection with Jesus? Okay. But to the world, they look like what? To those that are blind, the Catholic Church is seen as what? You said, I think they have holy men, Christ-like. Are they Christ-like? And we not judging them. We just going by what they do and what the words say. I think they have connection to money, power, and manipulation. Ooh. Do they represent Christ, though? So to the people that are blind, they don't know what they're looking at. To the people that are unaware of what God really moves like and how He moves and His knowledge, they're deceived into thinking that because they say God's name and they got all of these things and all of this, that they appear to be holy, but they're really wicked people. They represent money, power, and set. Oh, here we go. But do they tell us who they serve for real? Do they tell us? Hidden in plain sight. It's 3 letters that tell us who they worship. What are they? Three specific letters. And they're on all of their gowns and capes and everything. We've talked about them here before. Go look at a Pope robe and tell me what letters is on there. Please. Where are you? Y'all find them? Those letters stand for what? Hey, Queen. Those letters stand for what? What they stand for? Anybody know? Isis, Horeb, Set. Isis, Horeb, and Set. And it's on every last one of their tassels in the back. So who do they serve for real? Isis, Horeb, and Set were Egyptian, were they not? They worship idol gods. Who did the Egyptians worship? The Egyptians worshipped the idol gods. So why would the most holy people on earth be walking around with IHS on their clothes? These are also the people that have the sun disk, the sundial, the fish hats. They practice ritual child abuse. So in that book that we just read, Rika, you and I this morning, or with you whenever you read it, it talked about these people that were going to come in his name and all of this, but they was completely blind to what he was, who he is, his ways, and his knowledge. Mind you, they have all the books. But even with them having those crypts underneath the Vatican and having access with the prophet's bones, they still cannot see God for who he is, right or wrong. They still do not have the connection that we have with God because we were baptized in Jesus' name and filled with the Holy Ghost, or at least trying to understand the knowledge of God, not to rule over people. So they tell you who their God is. It's just like if you go somewhere and see somebody do this, what is this? If you out on the block and you see somebody do this, what is this? I don't know if I'm doing it completely right, but y'all know, what does this mean? Or something similar to this. What is this? Anybody know? Anybody know this? Ain't this the Rough Riders? Ain't this how you throw up Rough Riders? How do you throw up Rough Riders? Y'all don't know no biker gang people, I take it. That should be the Rough Rider symbol or something near to that. Yeah, they got a. It looks something like this. It's Rough Riders. I might not be doing it completely correct, but this is the Rough Rider. Like, they have a symbol. And it's a rough, it's like your hands is crossed or something. It's something like that. Yeah, it's something similar to this. So if you're not in a biker gang and you go by and you see two men do this to each other, they're speaking to each other. There is a hidden language that most people that are not in the Rough Riders world, they don't even know what that symbol means. Okay, a Masonic handshake. We see them online all the time when leaders of the worlds meet. No? You said I was an Eastern Star and we spoke with symbols. Okay. Gang members do it too. Stars do it all the time, and so do the officials. When they go and grab hands, to put your thumb over their thumb is a Masonic symbol, is it not? When Trump or a leader sits in a specific hand with their right hand over their left hand or their left hand over their right hand with their thumbs in a specific place, if they sit with them like this, it means something. If they sit with them like this, it means something. But only the people that know what the symbol means will understand what they are not saying with their mouth. Saying a whole lot. I'm not messing with them. I agree. I don't know all the symbols, but I know when they hold their hands a certain way, to people that understand, they know, oh, he's a Mason. Oh, she's the Eastern Star. Oh, they a Rough Rider. Or they a Paru. You know, those type things. So to the world, the Catholic Church is Christ presenting. Right? But they're not Christ-like. Because the reverence that should go to Christ goes to who? Like the people who whistled on the show Yellow Jackets, and the people had to know which whistle meant what exactly. Yep. But only those that know what that IHS stand for on the back of there understand who they really worship. If they understand the symbols that are in their synagogues. Because is the Catholic Church not the synagogue of Satan? One of them. I'm not saying every Catholic church, but they make people pray to idols. They make people have relics or charms or amulets. They make people pray to stone and wood. Do they not? So they're Christ presenting, but they're not Christ-like. They have all the words. They have all the Bibles. They have all the big churches. They have all the relics. They have everything, and they still don't know God. Will you agree? You said it, Jay Allen. So it's sitting there right in their face. They give to the poor, they help, they do this, but they still don't know God. They still don't have the Spirit of God. Yep, and they make people confess to them instead of giving it all to God. Here we go. You getting it now. You said it, Kiva. Do y'all realize Catholic priests are the exact same thing that Simon the sorcerer was to the apostles? Y'all get that, right? He's the same. All right, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm probably about to go take me a shower. And I don't know what's up with these middle of the day showers. It's happening. So I'm gonna go take me a middle of the day shower, call your niece and your nephew back, and then we can have class on some other things if y'all want to. Cause our classes just never be scripted and they be all over the place. It's hailing like crazy. I think it's coming out here because it's dark. You know I'm about to go sit out on the porch for a minute. Love to sit outside in the rain, nephew. I don't know why. Maybe because I was born in March, spring showers and stuff. But yeah, if it gets to blowing too hard, I'll come in. But I'm gonna go take me a shower and call y'all niece and nephew back. Make sure she not still upset. See what he won't. And then I'll get with y'all in a little bit. It'll probably be an hour, hour and a half. I'm gonna eat me something too. I tried them noodles last night. I'm gonna have to do something with them. And they kept giving me indigestion. But baby, they taste like raw fish. And they smell like raw fish too. I don't know what I was expecting, but you can taste all the fish. You know how when a fish is getting cut up, not stinky coochie fish, but raw. You know how like when you open a cooler that they didn't put the fish in, you know that smell that hit you in the face. Anybody ever been fishing? Hello. You know that smell when they open the cooler when they gonna take the fish out. That's what they smell and to me taste like. So I'm gonna have to put. I tried them with nothing extra, so now I'm gonna have to soup them up. But them lobster noodles, yeah, they smell just like real fish and taste like real, like a right. But it don't not the stinky fishy smell. It just smell like fresh fish. You said like right worms and dirt and a little bit of water fish smell, but not fishy. That's exactly what they taste and smell like. Yeah, I don't know what I was. I didn't. You put sardines in yours. Oh, so y'all like the fishy fish? Like okay, got it. You tried the lobster noodles before, nephew? You tried them? Because that seasoning pack is something serious. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's what they smell like and taste like. I'm gonna try them again. I didn't eat the whole thing. So I'm gonna try to doctor them up next time and see. But I ate a little bit of them and set them over there on the thing. So I'm gonna have to call my son and tell him, okay, so yep, we should have did something else. Yeah. So I love y'all. I'm gonna take me a shower, call them back, and then I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. We'll do something. And as y'all can see, the maintenance people didn't come again today. Maybe they'll come when y'all get off of here because I need to watch these people in my house. I don't like nobody in here. I'ma see. I just tasted them in their rarest form. I didn't add no extra, no chili, nothing, da 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 da. So I just tried them. I'm just telling y'all. But I didn't throw them away, the packs away. In Nori Fukaki, it might have been. I was thinking they put something in there, some seaweed or something, because baby, it tastes like straight out the ocean. You all right? It tastes like it's straight out the ocean. So if you're a sushi, I'm a sushi person, but I like sweet sushi, not like the actual like fishy kind of sushi, like raw. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna have to do something else with it. It gives a fishy taste to food. That's probably what it was then, because it was super fishy, super. Like it just came straight out the ocean. That is the taste you get. Like they just snatched the fish out, chopped it up, and put it on your plate. All jokes aside, that's what it. So if you like it, you'll love those. Absolutely love them. I'm a more clean fish person, but some people like that fishy like whatever. Not because it don't stink like y'all know the fish smell. It don't smell like that. It just smell like we just took a fish out of the lake and chopped it up. And then you know how when the heat hit that blood and stuff, it just has a different smell. I don't know what it is, but it's that. That's the taste. So. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna try it again. I didn't eat a whole pack. I'm gonna try to doctor them up and see, but I'm gonna try the other ones next. I gotta take these glasses back too so they can redo those. So I'm gonna go take a shower, call y'all niece and nephews. Rika, I hope some of your questions got answered. I might not have been able to answer all of them or just gave you a different understanding of what you read. Um, it's been a minute since I read that, and I just kind of ran through it today. But it was even touching me as I was reading it. And then, as you can see, people came right in asking questions that were relevant to what's all in there. So God be doing it in His own time. Yeah. Well, Rika, if you find, I probably should have put like garlic and stuff in it, but I didn't. Because sometimes you just want to taste it as it is before you add stuff. Because it wasn't horrible. It was just that was so strong. So that whatever fukaki or whatever, that's probably what was in there. Because I was trying to figure out how they get this strong of a fish taste and smell in it. Because like shrimp noodles really don't taste like shrimp. You know what I'm saying? And I was even looking in there like, damn, did they powder the damn lobster and put the lobster powder in here? Like, that's literally what I thought. They must have put some lobster powder in here. They didn't dehydrate the lobster. But lobster don't smell like that. The water do, but they don't. They don't. This is what I thought last night as I was eating it, y'all. I had to move it because I had went and warmed up my chicken and everything, baby. I moved it right on over to the side and scooted that chicken in front of me and was like, well, we're going to try this another day. Not this one. We're going to try it another day. So I'll see y'all later. I will. Love you, sis. Thanks again. You're welcome. I don't know if that helped a little bit or not, but, and then, of course, God can still give you more revelation on top of that. But they got to see Him in a light that we didn't, which is amazing. So I love y'all. I'll see y'all in a minute.